On September 26, 1983, a Soviet lieutenant colonel named Stanislav Petrov sat alone at a radar console when the alarms began to scream. 5 American nuclear missiles, the system said, already in the air, already on their way. Protocol was clear. Report it. Launch the response. End the world. He looked at the screen, and he did nothing. He trusted his instinct over his orders, and every person alive today exists because of that choice. But in our alternate Earth, Petrov followed protocol. He made the call. Within 4 minutes, Soviet leadership received the report. Within 11 minutes, they made their decision. And at 3:26 a.m. Moscow time, the missiles left the ground. All of them.
Protocol is clear. Authorize full-scale retaliation.
The first warheads reached their targets in under 30 minutes. Moscow, Washington, London, Paris, Beijing. Cities that had stood for centuries vaporized in seconds. The initial strikes killed 2 billion people before sunrise, not in war, not in battle, in sleep, in their beds, with no warning, no goodbye. 2 billion people gone before the sun came up. The bombs were not the end. They were the beginning of the end. 5 billion tons of black soot rose into the stratosphere, blocking sunlight across the entire planet. Temperatures plummeted. Summer vanished. Crops failed on every continent. The survivors of the blasts through the radiation, the firestorms, the collapse of every system, slowly starved in a world that had forgotten how to grow food. The bomb kills the city. The winter kills the world. Some survived. In bunkers, in deep subway tunnels, in remote mountain communities far from the targets. They emerged into a world they no longer recognized. The air tasted of metal. The sky never fully brightened. Food was rationed to the edge of nothing. But they survived. Humans, it turns out, are extraordinarily difficult to fully extinguish. 10 years after the last bomb fell, something unexpected happened. The soot thinned. Pale light returned. Seeds that had lain dormant in the ground began to germinate. Rivers cleared. Animals began moving back into the empty cities. The Earth, which had endured ice ages and asteroid impacts and mass extinctions, was already moving on. It had seen worse. It had time. A century after the war that ended all wars, the survivors and their children built a different kind of world. There were no nations left to fight over, no governments to issue launch codes, no weapons factories still running. Communities formed around rivers and forests. They kept what knowledge they could salvage and discarded what had nearly destroyed them. It wasn't a perfect world, but it was a living one. One man, one moment, one decision that the world never voted on and never knew about. In our timeline, Stanislav Petrov looked at that screen and chose doubt over duty. He was quietly reprimanded for it. Never celebrated, never honored. He died in 2017, largely unknown. In this alternate Earth, he never followed the rules and ended everything. This is Alternate Earth. Follow us for another episode.